So Horror Night Nightmares has released their third version of the map, probably their final speculation map. And we are about 2 and a little bit away from Halloween Horror Night starting, so I figured let's send the speculation map off in the grandest way we can by being here at the park and walking you through that speculation map. So here in the first location of where we had Blood Moon last year, it's supposed to be Monstros, the Latin Monsters of America, will be the first house that you enter in right here. So let's keep going forward. So right in the location of where The Exorcist was last year, we have the Lantern House, which, I mean, everybody knows what it is. I'm not saying it, but we all know what it is. That's going to be here where you normally see the barricade fencing, and the massive lines would be right here where The Exorcist was last year. On to the next part. And a big thing I noticed looking at that map and different from previous years is that New York, or at least from back there all the way to New York, it is filled with the IPs this year. It is all the busy, big crowds are going to be on this area. It won't be spread out in the other areas, but all the IP houses are here as opposed to spread out throughout the park like in normal years it used to be. So kind of interesting that they're taking that route this time. Maybe the back houses will be the less busy crowds back there at least. I'm forgetting, I have to look at the map. So right over here where Stranger Things was last year, we are going to have Ghostbusters. But this time it is actually a Frozen Ghostbusters house based upon the new movie, Frozen Ghostbusters house, as opposed to the retro one. And right here in the far back corner where we had Dueling Dragons last year is going to be the Quiet House. I'm not gonna say the name, but I mean, I guess you would know what I'm talking about. Just be quiet. And surprisingly, right next to that one where we had the Yeti house of last year, I'm forgetting the names of it, we have the Triplets of Terror house. It's actually in a soundstage, surprising everybody, I think. No one saw that coming. Don't know if that's gonna stay, but Triplets of Terror in a soundstage. Maybe my hype list is coming right on that one. Maybe Triplets of Terror might be the sleeper hit this year. Now, normally we would have like the rollout videos that announce the IP houses. I'm gonna take a guess, a wild guess. Here we are on January 2nd. I don't think we're gonna get the rollout announcement videos tying everything together. I think it's gonna be a solo house announcements like they used to do back in the day, but I don't think we're gonna get that rollout of all the characters connecting. Just because the way things are this year, I don't see that happening, but who knows? It's January 2nd. For all I know, next week they could roll out a video. And I think one of the biggest surprises this year is the house that is supposed to go in the Fast and Furious queue line is actually Major Sweet's Candy Factory. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Everyone was thinking it was going to be a soundstage, but no, it is rumored to be Major Sweets. I don't really know how I feel about that because it does have that factory building. Maybe they'll have something on the facade here, would be kind of cool. I don't see that happening, but leave it down in the comment section. Are you happy about this decision or not? Do you feel like this is not a good location for that? And finally, we actually have a rumored scare zone for the San Francisco area. And it looks to be like a doll or Bratz doll or, I don't know, scary dolls, something to that degree. Maybe it'll be like a doll house or something. How do you guys feel about that? Are you scared of dolls? Do you think this is kind of a cool concept? But I could definitely see this area being used for that. Pretty good, pretty good. And back over here in Diagon Alley will be the ever so popular, and one of my favorites of last year was the Death Eaters will be back. Who knows if they'll have some new tricks up their sleeve. I'm floored at this. I mean, I know the park just opened, but wow. I don't think I've ever got shots of this being this empty. This also makes me think, if the premium Scream Night was like this empty, would you pay for it? Would it be worth that amount if it was this empty in the park? Maybe. Now I have a crazy theory, hear me out. I think Boris is not involved in this year at all, but I think he's going to be involved in our anniversary year coming up a little later on, like HHN 35. So stay tuned to the channel, subscribe if you're not, obviously, if you want to see that video. Because I have a few theories on how this is going to pan out. Now right up here, last year we had the Megan dance group. Now what's rumored on that map for this year, a sort of ribbon, which a lot of people are like, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean? And I called this. If this is what it is, I told you guys back on the previous video, at least my thought was that it was coming back. It was too popular last year. And if they have the rights, why would they bring it back? Although that's sort of a repeat. So we'll have to see, but right here is supposed to be the Megan, maybe the Megan dance group or Abigail, one of the two. It's gonna be maybe a little mini show. And I'll leave it up to you to decipher what it's gonna be, but yeah, right here in this very spot. And I know me, Lush, Dreamport, we've all had this same idea about this. Why don't they do a horror makeup Halloween Horror Nights edition show, like relating to Horror Nights and the makeup and some of the lore and stuff? It would work very well. I don't know why they haven't done it yet, but there you go. Free idea, Universal. I still cannot get over how empty this park is. Literally, I'm on Hollywood Boulevard and it's completely empty here, completely empty. But right here is supposed to be a luchador mask, or maybe like a Day of the Dead celebration, something along the lines of that. If you remember way back at the Mexican pavilion thing over there that they have, usually like the walking taco and stuff, it's normally something dedicating to sort of like that mask that we've seen before over there. So, and maybe we'll even see some monsters from the Monsters of Latin America, Monstros, in this scare zone. That would be kind of interesting take to do that. Almost like how Hollywood does it. Okay, so while I have you guys here, excuse the mess, I'm eating a Schretzel right now. Halloween Horror Nights. Interesting takes this year, having all the IPs in the front of the park, and we still have that rumored weekend zone. We still have a rumored Blumhouse zone. So I'm really leaning towards New York being IP related scare zone. If they're going to do an IP related scare zone, that would make sense to have it in New York versus Central Park or in the front of the park. What's interesting is here in ET, or the ET entranceway, we do not have a Horror Nights entrance back there. Judging by the speculation map, it's saying that we have the two over by the Man in Black, the Coca-Cola station, and then two by the Nightmare Fuel entranceway. So that's going to be interesting of how that plays out with the crowds and whatnot. So we'll have to see when obviously Horror Nights takes place. And last year where we had Twisted Origins, I think it's what it was called, the Icon House, was this entrance. But this is believed to be this year to head to the new tents. Back there it's going to be Goblin Feast and the Universal Monsters Scream Queen's house, I guess is the rumored title of that one. But that's going to be interesting that this is going to be for two house entrances, unless I'm wrong on that part. And over here in the Fear Factor Theater is obviously Nightmare Fuel to be returning once again. It's not like anyone did not really suspect otherwise. Nonetheless, I'm pretty sure everybody here is watching this is going to be going to Halloween Horror Nights. So yeah, let me know down in the comment section, what do you all think about this map and the locations? Could be an interesting year, none the least.